What's up, you guys? It is the Moses of Finance, teaching you guys money management framework from a certified financial planner's perspective. Listen, as you know, before we get started, I'd like you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Smash it for me. Smash it. This month, we're talking about marriage and money. Right? So we're talking about marriage and money. And today's topic is to merge or not to merge, right? So deciding on joint finances in marriage. Man, I tell you, this one is a big topic, to merge or not to merge, deciding on joint finances in marriage. So as you know, I have been married for 14 years. I'm a certified financial planner and I run a seven-figure financial planning and wealth management firm. So I do believe that I am highly credible to talk to you about this stuff. All right. There's a lot of people promoting finances and stuff like that. You got to be careful too, because some people aren't necessarily giving you the right information, which is why I always say credible source. But in any event, I want you to be sure to watch this video to the end, because I am going to be doing a whiteboard presentation. I try to keep my videos, between 10 and 15 minutes, and I'm going to try to do that today. So you have to bear with me so I can get through the information, because I want to give you an example of how you can merge your finances together. But more importantly, there's something specific when you're talking about merging your finances together, specifically as it relates to your debt and specifically as it relates to your houses and your investments. You got to be careful with certain things. So let's talk about it. All right. So consolidating money together as a married couple can offer several benefits, and it can promote financial unity. All right. So let's talk about some things to get to that point. So number one, you need transparency and shared responsibilities. All right. Consolidating finances promotes transparency and financial responsibility. It allows both partners to have a clear understanding of the household income, expenses, debt, and savings. All right. Now, I want you to think of it like this. Think of it like you're taking control of the steering wheel. Combining your accounts and understanding your current financial position puts you in the driver's seat. Just as a driver needs to know the vehicle's current condition before starting a major road trip, you want to make sure that your car is going to get you to the destination. So knowing where you stand financially empowers you to take control and make informed decisions that you steer towards your financial future. Now, here's the thing. If you're going on a road trip together, you're in one car. If you're going on an extravagant vacation, you're flying in one plane together. If you decide to have kids, the two of you have to come together as one to make the baby. So my question is, what's the difference with your money when you get married? Why can't we combine the money so that we're working as one person? Right. Now, number two, simplifying financial management. Managing your finances from a consolidated approach can simplify financial management. By combining your income expenses into a joint account, couples can streamline bill payments, budgeting, and tracking expenses. It reduces the need for consistent transfers between separate accounts and minimizes the risk of missed payments and overlooking financial obligations. Now, Genesis 2:24. It says, therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. That's Old Testament. Okay, remember, the Old Testament is there for our instruction. We're supposed to learn from it, because based on how the Bible is written and how it's structured, and with Christ passing away, we are now under the new covenant. Then the new covenant is there for our empowerment. So we've got an Old Testament scripture. Let me give you a New Testament scripture. Matthew 19:6. It says, so they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man separate. So why do I bring that up? Simplified financial management is easier if you combine everything. You're one person now. You're one flesh as it speaks, because you're married now. Number three, efficient goal tracking. Consolidating your finances makes it easier to track progress towards your financial goals, whether you're saving for a down payment, retirement, college education, boat, major vacation, whatever, wedding renewal, whatever it's going to be. It just makes it easier to consolidate. And I know specifically it makes it easier as a financial planner when I'm planning out finances. So this is why having the income account, I talked about this in the last video, but an income account which is where both of your incomes go into. All right, call it an income account or a bill account. Then the two of you should have a fund money account, right? Or you have like a joint credit card. But I usually say fund money account, especially as you're getting started, so that you can understand your financial spending and your spending and your other financial habits. The fund money account is basically the accounts that you're going to do your unaccounted for spending in. You can't say anything to your spouse about what they spend in that account. They can't say anything to you. Now, in your budget, though, you're allocating how much is going to go to that fund money account. You got me? Next, you need one savings account. The savings account that you're going to be saving for your emergency money, which is going to be 3 to 6 months of your expenses, and then any other short-term goals that you're going to need money for. All right. You're then going to need to have a joint investment account. So if you're getting married and you already have investment accounts, we need to bring them two together, but you got to be careful, because then you have to follow the right investment strategy, the new investment strategy that you guys are going to follow as a couple. So we'll talk about that when we get to the whiteboard section. And if you've got to place some trades and stuff in that, you got to be careful, because there's taxes that go into that. Then your retirement account. So each one of you will have your own retirement account. So this setup is crucial, and it makes the management of money so much easier, which means it makes it easier for you guys to follow God's money management framework, which again, I'm going to do in one of the masterclasses. I'm going to break that money management framework down in one of the future masterclasses. It improves financial communication. Consolidating encourages ongoing financial communication between the two of you. So regularly discussing your income, expenses, financial priorities helps misunderstandings and surprises and potential conflicts. It allows couples to align their financial values, make joint decisions, and adopt the financial plan together. So a very transparent moment. Our money went to another level when we decided to do this. So when we did come together and start, this is kind of how it worked for us. We came together first and joined our finances and stuff together. I had a fund money account. She has her own account. But we have a joint account, then we have a joint savings, and we have a joint investment account. She has her retirement account, and I have my retirement account. I got my retirement accounts through my business. She got her retirement accounts through her business, right? But for a few years, we still never really sat down and talked about, the finances and merging everything together underneath the vision. We just started doing that, and when I tell you, it just kind of blew everything up. And part of the reason why I think my wife and I are experiencing the best year in our marriage at this particular point, I mean, in every area, parenting, sex, money, all of that stuff is all getting better. It's like it's the best it's ever been at this point. So this is why I say this is highly beneficial on so many fronts, and it strengthens your financial partnership. So when you combine your finances together, it can strengthen your partnership. It promotes a sense of working together towards a common goal, encourages collaboration, and fosters a deeper understanding of understanding each other's habits. But it also, what it does is it means that you are being incredibly vulnerable with your spouse in this respective area. And so once you are 100% vulnerable with each other, your relationship goes to another level as well. Now, each couple is different. Each couple's different. So these your goals and your mission and everything like that, and the time frame on how you put everything together is going to be completely different. Remember, if you talk to 1,000 financial advisors, you're going to get 1,000 different answers. So you want to do what works best for you. Don't worry about what other people are saying that they do on social media and stuff like that. Do what's best for you in your marriage. Got it? Now, let's talk about how you actually do it. So number one, we got to establish the shared financial goals. So we have to discuss what's going to be short term, next 3 years, 5 years or so, and then what's long term, 5 years and longer. All right, now listen to me. Y'all better not write in the comments or anything else about my art, because I'm terrible at it. I went to school for money. You understand me? All right, so we're going to just draw these little stick figures. All right, so we got one spouse. All right, one spouse has some very headstrong. All right, now what we're going to look at here is, so we're going to say, let's say we call this checking account, then we've got our savings account, then we've got our real estate, then we've got debt, then we've got our investments. Okay, so what's going to happen here is now the two of you are basically now one. So when it comes to your checking account and their checking account, what you're going to do is you're going to keep those accounts open. All right. But you're going to determine how much is going to stay in there. And then you're going to pull out the rest of that money. And that money is going to go, we're going to call this column marriage. All right. And so this is going to turn into your joint checking account. And you guys determine how much money is going to go into that. The remaining checking accounts that you guys had before you got married, that's going to turn into your fund money. So remember, it's two separate accounts. And really, I would put this at a separate bank, right? And we're going to do the same thing with the savings accounts. Now, the savings accounts, what we're going to do is because the two, now, I'm going Bible here. So the two have become one. So we're going to take the savings that you guys have. And again, this is everybody does it at different points, but we're going to create a joint savings account. Okay. And we're going to take that money and we're going to close those individual savings accounts. Now, again, this is my recommendation. You do what works best for you. Now, when it comes to real estate, if you guys have properties, so he has a property, she has a property, and so bring these two together. Now, you have to make a decision. Okay, and this is where you guys can do it yourself, or maybe a financial person is going to come in. Are you going to keep those two houses? Can your finances allow you to keep the two properties, especially if they're mortgaged? Will you be able to, then if you keep them, can you rent them out and really kickstart your financial foundation? If not, then maybe you should sell it and get a new house. I generally recommend that the both of you end up getting your own house that you purchase together as opposed to moving into each other's house, because I just believe, and this is just me, and again, you do what you feel is best, but I always felt as though that if I'm getting ready to move into your house, it's always going to be your house. And so there's always going to be some subconscious thing where you're always going to believe that. And when we run into conflicts, I just believe that newlyweds, get your own place. So if you can keep them and rent them, do that. If not, sell them, get your own property. Now, when it comes to debt, you need to end up figuring out how much debt spouse one has, how much debt spouse two has, and then you need to figure out a strategy on how you're going to pay them down. All right. Easy strategy is go from smallest to largest and start tackling that smallest one all the way until you get to the largest one. And you just put that in your budget on how much you're going to put towards debt. When it comes to investments, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because you may have two separate investment accounts. Spouse one might be have a high risk tolerance. Spouse number two may have a low risk tolerance, which means that if you bring these two together, then they're going to have a joint. They're going to have to be somewhere in the middle. All right. So if this one is going, and you'll have to join my math class when I do it to understand what I'm talking about. But if this one's going 80 miles an hour and this one's going 50 miles an hour, then you have to figure out what the joint one needs to be. Maybe the joint one goes 65 miles per hour, right? But then when you get your joint with rights of survivorship investment policy or investment account, you have to figure out, if you're selling investments, you have to be careful of potential capital gains when you do sell and rebalance. And so this is why it's good for you to work with a financial advisor, because they're going to be able to help you guys determine if you should keep that account, if you shouldn't keep that account, or if everything should just be in one. And it's all going to be predicated upon your overall goals and the mission of your family. The last thing that we need to put up here is your insurances. All right. So when it comes to insurances, you need to make sure that you're putting each other on as each other's beneficiary. You need to look at your health insurance. And you probably need to even look at your disability insurance and increasing your disability insurance as well. So these are some of the things that you want to look at initially and immediately when you are looking at merging your finances together. All right. So you have to figure out what consolidated approach is going to work best for your family. Update your account ownerships and beneficiaries, which we just talked about. Develop a budget, and then your spending plan, now that you understand each other's habits. And then you want to communicate on a regular basis. Communicate on a regular basis, because things change, you change. And then, as always, seek out professional help if you feel as though that you need it. Because depending on your financial complexity, or if you encounter challenges during the consolidation process, consider consulting an advisor. They can provide personalized guidance and tailor specific recommendations to your situation and optimize the strategy that you're using, because you only know what you know. And when I tell you there's a plethora of information, especially as a certified financial planner, that I have that my clients don't know. And so when they come to me with their various situations and strategies, I know have this ton of information that's stored up here. I can then bring it down and put it right into their specific situation and tailor it. All right. So you don't know what you don't know. So you want to make sure that you're using wisdom. And that's why the Bible says, Proverbs 15:22, plans fail for lack of wise counsel, but with many advisors, plans succeed. Now, the Bible also says that the two shall become one, which is why we're talking about to merge or not to merge. My recommendation is to merge. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Moses of Finance, Paul Jervey.